Coming up.
It doesn't matter if it's your job title or not. You see something, you fix it, you pick it up, you take care of it.
You have them on the mineral and you have them on the hyaluronic acid and the gel, and you keep them good, and then when you take them, you take that with you.
Discover how one Wyoming family conquers drought and rugged land to raise elite cattle and horses, next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. In Douglas, Wyoming, Scott Ranch battles a harsh landscape where drought and sparse forage threaten cattle health. This multi-generational family operation has faced tough times, yet their grit keeps them going. Today we'll meet the Scotts, explore their history, and uncover the challenges they've fought to keep their cattle thriving in Wyoming's unforgiving plains.
We're Scott Ranches LLC. We're located in Douglas, Wyoming.
500 head of cows, give or take, depending on the year.
Cow-calf operation, and we also run a farm. Our wives are fourth generation. Kids coming up will be going on fifth.
So it started in the early 1900s with Morton Inc. And our wife's great-grandpa Earl worked for Morton's. And they liked him so much they give him the majority of the corporation. And at that point, it was over 350,000 acres.
From there, my grandpa, Butch Scott, he continued on with the ranch, and then my dad, Blake, and my uncle Troy, they kind of took over and they downsized the ranch a bit in 1993, and that's what Scott Ranches is today.
Our kids, us, our parents, we're all here to help with all the cattle work, and it's just a family affair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a whole family operation. It doesn't matter if it's your job title or not. You see something, you fix it, you pick it up, you take care of it. It's whatever needs done, that's what we do. Yeah, Douglas, we're a town of 6,000 people, and so it's not a big community, but Douglas is also a pretty close community, rancher community.
Mm-hmm. A lot of big ranches, a lot of big family ranches that kind of stick together. Not a lot of people, but a lot of challenges.
Weather-wise, we are kind of right in the middle. You know, we see a lot of wind. We have our seasons.
Hot, dry,
cold winters.
Cold, windy winters.
Wintertime always seems like get into that March time frame. That's when we start getting our wet, heavy snows.
On years like this, you know, we didn't get a whole lot of snow, so we don't have the water and the draws and the stuff, you know, but like out on the plains and stuff, I mean, there's good grass there this year because we, as an operation, leave enough the year before to run again the next couple of years and not have to worry about it. But that being said, I mean, some of that grass is old and dried up and just a stick, but another challenge was like getting a good, healthy calf crop to market. You'd have some really good ones, you'd have some small ones, some little guys, mainly because they're fighting flies all summer. They're fighting disease, they're fighting sickness. I mean, that's just a challenge that we kind of had to figure out a solution to. We usually sell 2 loads of steers in the fall. And when those calves are sick and not gaining like they're supposed to all summer long, fighting flies, that kind of deal, it was hard to get 210 520-pound calves that were all uniform, that they all looked the same, that a buyer really wanted to own. So we had to kind of figure out a way to deal with the flies, all this kind of stuff. That way we could have a better, reputable set of cattle.
After the break,
it makes them grow about the same rate that we always have, but on less feed.
See how Scott Ranch boosts cattle health with premium nutrition, turning tough forage into profit when The American Rancher continues. Stay with us. Welcome back to The American Rancher. Scott Ranch in Wyoming faced drought, poor forage, and low conception rates, which threatened their cattle operation. But the Scotts refused to give up.
The solution actually, where it started, Keith Mickey was persistent enough to get us started in the horse mineral program. And we liked the product, we liked the outcomes, and everything about that we're like, let's look into the mineral program, VitaFerm, for cattle. And once we started that mineral program, our cattle were getting the nutrients out of this mineral program that they weren't out of our other programs or out of the forage that they had in front of them. So that's something we kind of pride ourselves on too, of taking our cattle to the next level, is someone's got to make them. And if you're going to make them, try to make them the best that you can. For our mineral program, we use the VitaFerm 1 throughout our winter months, kind of our off-season months. And then we roll into the Concept Aid, and we do feed the mag, and then we roll into our heat once we get into breeding season. Our mag is more so like our springtime, and then we roll into our heat once we start our breeding season.
And then once we get weaned in the fall, those calves go to the feedlot, and then that's where we use the Gain Smart mineral. We just mix it right in our feed truck, and it works wonders in our feedlot. We hardly doctor anything now. It makes them grow, but on less feed.
Amaferm is a research-proven prebiotic that is a powerful technology that is designed and engineered to enhance the microbiome in all of our animals, with the main focus of being toward improvements in feed utilization and gut health. It not only stimulates the bacterial populations that are responsible for the breakdown of feed inside the animal's gut, but it also is unique in the fact that it has a positive influence on the fungi, specifically in ruminant animals, that helps to physically break down some of these forages and also improve the enzymatic activity that's going on within the gut. When it comes to just production agriculture as a whole, there's so many variables that producers have to basically jump over in terms of the environment, the changes in weather and climate patterns, and forage availability. It's our job as producers to get the most out of the land that Mother Nature gave us. And so if these animals have the ability to stay healthier and yet utilize the forage that they consume more effectively on a daily basis, we're being better stewards of the land, on top of returning the extra performance that we're after in terms of improving our bottom lines. And when we can engineer products like VitaFerm, like Gain Smart and Vitalize, that can be delivered to animals to where they can utilize their forage most effectively, return the performance and profitability back to the animal, and do it so in the healthiest, most efficient manner, is the care that comes full circle that we strive for here at BioZyme. So Amaferm can be used in all different stages of beef cattle production, all the way down to the newborn calf, the growing calf in the backgrounding phase, all the way to the mature cow that's grazing, many acres per head. And so the benefits that you see across the board is improvements in health and improvements in the feed that they consume is going to improve the performance for all these different animals. Using a VitaFerm product that not only delivers Amaferm, the powerful prebiotic to get more energy and protein out of the herd, but tied together with highly bioavailable vitamins and minerals, can improve conception rates by 3% and overall pregnancy rates by 5%. And in the era of the calf prices that they are, this reproductive success is paramount for the extra profitability you're after in your herds.
So we started using this VitaFerm Sure Start gel this year on our calves that got wet or didn't get going and get up right away. Keith brought it to us. It was a newer kind of product that he was kind of thought we might like. So years past, like in the winter months when we're calving, if it's windy or cold or wet, whatever, usually our go-to was go back to the barn and make a bottle of colostrum, tube them, do that deal. This year we started using this gel, and if they're down, cold, kind of whatever, they're not getting up and sucking right away, we started giving them a tube of this, and it's really a good product that it's got a lot of electrolytes and a lot of vitamin B12, good stuff in it to get their energy up. It has the Amaferm in it that really jump starts their gut and really gets their gut working, so they get up and go to work, go to sucking and get colostrum that they need.
Up next,
We went through a couple different minerals and we just weren't really impressed with the results, and Vitalize is the one we liked and we stuck with it.
discover how Scott Ranch's horses shine with BioZyme's Vitalize and see their vision for the future. That's after the break, here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. In central Wyoming's rugged terrain, Scott Ranch's cattle flourish with BioZyme's VitaFirm and Gain Smart, but their horses are just as vital to the ranch's success.
I started buying mares and colts 12 years ago. My husband and I started out with a really nice mare, and we just have bought what we could afford at the time and just tried to upgrade our program a little bit at a time. And I dreamt about days like this years ago, so we're pretty fortunate. We now have 2 studs. They're both an outcross in the barrel horse world, and it just makes them, especially for the breeding and the bloodlines, it just makes it easy to sell them when they are as nice as they are, but we also use them on the ranch, and we just really love to use our horses for daily jobs on the ranch, and it just makes it easier to promote them when they actually do have a job for a living. The horse I rode today to move cows, his name is Fletch. He's my dad's good horse. 8 years ago, we bought him from a friend of ours down in Texas. He's by Royal Fletch. He embodies what we want in all of our horses, something that we can do everything on, something that we can go catch that we haven't ridden in months. And he goes and he just does the job every time we need him to. He's just very reliable. He's probably one of the best horses we've ever owned. I've always been really proactive in just researching what makes horses work better. And prior to Vitalize Mineral, I had a lot of trouble getting mares bred. I had a lot of trouble in the breeding barn, getting mares just to cycle correctly. My conception rates were real low. I had a lot of money in vet bills, and we needed to make a change. And so in my research, I found that our horses just needed a more complete mineral, and they weren't getting any of that at the time. And so we went through a couple different minerals, and we just weren't really impressed with the results, and Vitalize is the one we liked, and we stuck with it. Since we started using Vitalize, man, our mares they're healthy. They're in top condition. They cycle correctly. They're easier to breed. I have less fluid. I have less problems in the breeding barn as a whole. Anybody that brings mares to me that they're having trouble getting them to conceive, and their mares they're having trouble. They're spending a lot of money at the vet. The first thing I do is I say, take this bag of mineral home and try it. And I say, your horse won't go to it unless they need it. There's mares that come in here that we breed for people that have not been on a mineral program, and as soon as I turn them out, that's the first place they go, is to the mineral. They do self-regulate, and I appreciate that too, because there are a lot of minerals that have fillers and sweeteners in them and molasses, and they'll just camp out on it, and then they're getting too much junk, and then they're not getting the actual vitamins and minerals that they need. We haul all over the country to junior rodeos and big barrel races and stuff for our daughter, and we take the mineral with us on the road and make sure that they're always getting their mineral. We use the Vitalize gel. We also use some of the hyaluronic acid.
The Vitalize Equine Mineral really helps my horses have a better nutrition and digestive health, and helps them keep their coat shiny and looking good. It helps them stay in peak condition, and it also, I think it just overall is a really good product. And the equine gel is it's very good for recovery when we're on the road. My horses, sometimes they don't drink very well, but when we give the Vitalize gel, if they're not drinking very well, they drink right away. And I think it also really helps with a good digestive system.
I think that it's really important to start here. So you get them healthy here, you have them on the mineral, and you have them on the hyaluronic acid and the gel, and you keep them good, and then when you take them, you take that with you. And I think that it helps with their gut health, it helps with their overall health, it helps them perform at a higher level because their gut's not bothering them, and they're just healthier in general. We stand 2 stallions. Lawless Wallace, he's a Trace's son out of a apolitical Jess daughter, and he won $110,000 on the track. And then we have another stud, his name's the Winner in Town. He's by Winner's Version and out of a daughter of Corona Caliente. They're both really high-strung individuals. They're both bred to run. We work really hard at keeping their gut good. We have them on the almond, we keep them on the mineral. They're free choice mineral all the time. We are huge believers in having them on a well-rounded mineral program, and good feed is the reason why their motility and their concentration is as good as it needs to be for us to breed as many mares as they need to. Wallace, this was his first year standing. He bred 125 mares. His motility consistently is 90% or higher. It's one of the best I've ever seen, and we credit that to good nutrition, vitalized mineral. It never let us down, and we've been feeding it for about 7 years now. We have a ranch dog named Luke. He's probably the top hand. He does everything nobody else wants to do. He's our most valuable player for sure. We actually have given him some of the gel. He's tried to overheat on us a couple times because he just works so hard. And out north, he actually overheated on us twice. And so anytime we take him out there and he has a hard day and it's going to be hot, we just take one with us because he's so valuable. We can't, and that probably saved his life that day. We had some of that gel in one of our saddlebags, and we realized we had that, and we gave it to him, and it brought him out of it. We were able to get him to the vet in time, but it probably did save his life.
So GainSmart is premier stocker or wheat pasture mineral that BioZyme produces, and what sets us apart is not only the fact that we have Amifirm, which is our premier prebiotic that we ferment in St. Joe, Missouri, but also it has organic zinc and copper, which sets us apart from the things that we compete against in that space. So Amifirm improves forage digestibility by 17%, or NDF digestibility. Also, we improve protein digestibility by 10%, volatile fatty acid production by 16%, overall absorption rate of nutrients by 30%, and probably the key thing is microbial protein production by over 30%. So that sets us apart from everybody that we compete against. With over 200 pieces of peer-reviewed research, we can show that in a feed yard setting, a grow yard setting, or in a wheat pasture, native pasture setting, we can get 1/4 pound of gain a day of average daily gain. So if you'll go to biozymeinc.com, you'll be able to find your local representative, and or if you can find on the dealer locator there, someone that's close to you that's either a dealer, or reach out to one of our reps, and they'll be glad to point you toward someone that can help you with your needs.
So in the feedlot, we feed that GainSmart mineral package. One of the biggest things that we've seen is the uniformity in them when they leave there. That's huge. Also health, gut health is huge for us because we don't feed silage, none of that. We just feed a little bit of corn and hay, alfalfa grass hay and barley. So we grind that up and put that GainSmart in there with it, and they go right to feed. You don't see the health problems right off the bat at weaning like we used to. And another thing, like when they leave there, whether it's the leftover steer calves or the replacement heifers that we keep, we want them to be healthy, and we want them to come out of there at the right weight and at the right time, obviously, but we want them to come out of there healthy. That way, when we kick them out on grass, we're not having to deal with doctoring them and fighting that battle when they leave the feedlot. These cattle coming off of our program are so uniform, and they work well. The same guys bought them, I think, 8 years. So, I mean, we're on the right path, whether it be bulls or mineral or whatever we're doing. The same guy's buying them, so we must be doing something right, and we want them, we know that they're working for him too. So that's kind of what we're striving for, is just productivity out of our cattle and make them grow and do what they're supposed to do. And VitaFirm products, no matter what it is helping that happen.
VitaFirm's taken our cattle to the next level. To be able to sell where we do every year, the mineral program pays off. Everything's always changing and always evolving, and it'll do that as technology evolves. And so for generations, as long as we can keep that same mentality of never be stuck with the normal everyday, or this is the way it always was, that's where you get stuck in a hole. Our outlook for this place to carry on for generations to come, I look at it the same as like, the only thing we can do is try to make it better for the next generation, and I hope they do the same for generations to come.
In our eyes, raising a family on a ranch is the best way of life. It teaches them hard work, dedication, responsibility, and so we hope that they continue this on for generations even after them.
That's all the time we have for today's American Rancher. Scott Ranch shows how family, grit, and BioZyme's premium nutrition conquer Wyoming's toughest challenges. From heavier calves to stronger horses, their story proves that the right tools build a lasting legacy. Visit BioZymeInc.com to learn about VitaFirm, Gain Smart, and Vitalize. And to learn more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook or YouTube. I'm Pam Minnick. For our entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.